It's 5:30 a.m. and I'm heading south on Florida Route 78, down towards Clewiston and the sugarcane fields of South Florida for one last trip to US Sugar. The overall goal today, chase the Sebring and Fort Pierce turns and see 148 in the afternoon. By about 6:15, 6:30 a.m., I was rolling through Moorhaven and the sun was just rising up as well. And reaching the shops at 7 a.m., I find the site I was hoping to see. The SD40 that USSC has been leasing for some of its Fort Pierce or Sebring turn jobs was out and ready to go on a manifest train. At this point, I wasn't sure if it was going to be Sebring or Fort Pierce, so I had to wait out and see what happened. But before the manifest turns got out, some of the regular cane jobs made their way out of the yard first. This one being Cane 1 with USSC's newest motor, 410. Upon hearing radio chatter that Fort Pierce turn was about to leave the mill, I raced down to Evercane Road to get them as they got up to track speed. Today the Fort Pierce turn had the 506, which is the P5 equipped GP40 on the roster. Coming back into town as I didn't want to lose track of the SP motor, Cane 3 was coming out with the 503, going down to the mill to grab some empties to bring along the north side of the fields. At this point, it was pretty obvious that the SD40 and the other USSC Jeep was the Sebring turn today, and once they started moving, I moved down to watch them grab their outbound cars to bring up to interchange with CSX. Their first task of the day was to take a tank car that was situated in the middle of the consist and put it on the end of the train. So enjoy a little bit of switching action before we depart northbound for Moorhaven, Palmdale, and eventually Sebring. And with the short interchange train now solid, the Sebring turn departs north for Moorhaven, its first stop. After making a pickup near the Benbow loadouts, the Sebring turn now has an extra cut of cars going north, and we got them notching up at the second grade crossing of County Road 720. Continuing our northbound chase, we're now at the crossing of US 27 and the tracks just north of Moorhaven, and at this point they're up to the full track speed of 40 miles an hour. In Palmdale, the Sebring turn had a little bit of work to do with some scrap cons sitting on a storage track, so we set up as they rolled across the Fish Eating Creek Bridge and made some great photo opportunities as they paused to build up some air and shove back to the train. It turns out the move with these scrap guns was to just position them so they could be picked up on the southbound turn. So after that switching was done, I watched them depart Palmdale northbound. And after that, I decided to head back south to Clewiston. And what a good choice that was, as just as I got to Evercane Road to wait for some cane jobs, cane number 1 came up the SCFE line with 410 and its amazing K5LA. At this point, it was getting close to 1 p.m., so I went back into town to get ready for the main event of the day. And of course, it's USSC 148. They were running some Easter trips this weekend, and I figured a combination of cane job buffing and 148 would be a great final send-off to going to US Sugar after these past 3 years. So, enjoy the sights and sounds as we chase this first trip out to Moorhaven and back. About halfway along the chase, I noticed 148 was passing a couple of sugarcane jobs heading in, so I moved back to the County Road 720 grade crossing and caught them coming into town. This first one being cane number 2 with 505. Since the second cane train had to make a few pickups near the Shawnee loadout, the 148 excursion consist made its trip back ahead of them. And it was good to see a Jeep 11 leading the consist again, specifically 304 with its double K5LA and P5 horn combo. And with the 148 excursion now out of the way, cane number 3 made his run into town with a hefty train of sugarcane loads. One thing I noticed on this trip is that US Sugar's ex-Pennsylvania Railroad observation car has now been painted into the Sugar Express colors and been aptly named the Clewiston. I hope someday when I come back to see this operation again, the Clewiston will be in service and on the back of the Sugar Express trains. Even with catching the cane number 3 after the 148 consist, I was able to beat the train back to the depot as they had to wait for cane number 2 to get out of the way. And my original plan was to chase the 4 p.m. trip, but I decided to ride instead to get one last trip aboard the Sugar Express before leaving town in a couple of months for my new job. on after the ride, I found cane number 4 heading out towards Moorhaven with 506 and a decent cut of empties. However, the real reason I came back out was to see the Sebring turn come back in with the SD40 leader. And even though they dropped their train due to running low on time, it was nice to see this engine lead one last time. And while it wasn't necessarily the way I was thinking things would go, I ended up running into cane number 2 on my way back into Clewiston one last time, so I stuck around at County Road 720 again to watch him pass. It turns out by staying for Cane 3, I was able to see the SD40 lead the Sebring turn one last time. And this concludes day 1 of my US Sugar farewell adventure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.